That TV over there, yeah, that shit is not random.
It's rigged.
Anyways, GAARA trips Rock Lee.
It's low key like that NFL script I see going around. All right, you gotta love when the underdog comes out on top, man. That's like the glory story of all time. The only time somebody put the underdog winning pissed me off was Creed 2. There's no way Michael B. Jordan should have won that fight, bro. That boy, or was it number one? It might have been number one. Whichever one it was. When what's the dude? When not Apollo Creed. If he dies, he dies. His son should have put, Creed in a bag. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into this.
Yeah. It's about time we talk about that boy Rock Lee. And what better fight to do it than this one? So let's get into it. So after the worst track run of fights of all time happened, I'm talking Sakura versus Ino, Naruto versus Kiba, and Neji versus Hinata. Kishimoto said, hold up, enough of these NyQuil fights. I gotta hit him with that heat, and he got to it. So boom, that random ass HD flat screen TV they had started selecting fighters. And the first fighter it selected was GAARA. And you know what he does? He hits this little teleportation thing to go to the middle of the arena. You know he couldn't wait to do that shit. And I can't blame him. After watching those 3 weak ass fights, I gotta keep my mind occupied somehow. I'd be on my Vegeta timing too, taking my time figuring out how to pull up. The TV started selecting the next fighter, and 99% of the remaining fighters were not trying to see him in the ones. So you know they were out there sweating. But notice how I said 99 because one was straight up ready, and his name is Rock Lee. He's selected, and look at what he's doing. He's up there shadow boxing, no fear in his heart. He said, I'm built for this. He jumps down to the middle and hits that iconic pose. And let me warn you, if you ever get into an altercation and they start hitting the Rock Lee pose, run. They probably be in the gym 5 hours a
Yo, he should be banned from every establishment on the planet doing something like this, bro.
day minimum.
How is he even? Yeah, what is he training for, bro? Hercules must be on his way back.
For your own safety,
to do damage to the human race.
walk away. But before the fight even starts, I need to talk about GAARA's teammates, Tamari and Kangaroo, or however you say it, because they are really some elite level haters. The fight ain't even start yet, and Kangaroo in the back talking about, tell your friend with the shitty haircut he'll never be GAARA. Not in this lifetime. I know Naruto in his head is just like,
oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
because this shit is outrageous. And don't get me started on Tamari.
This fight is goated.
Because Kishimoto takes us through her thoughts, and she was really talking about his kicks are weak as hell. Like, bro, what was wrong with his kicks? And the crazy part is, if he's seen either of them in the ones, he would have packed them up and went on to the next round. But let's get into it. The Proctor's in the middle like, ready? Box! And Rock Lee starts rushing him, holding that W key. But I know you see GAARA with his arms folded. And we know good.
Bruh, what happened to TSM Daquan, bruh? Give me those toes, bruh.
And well,
W key
if
advocate.
someone is standing still and not moving, 99% of the time, your attack is not going to work. And that's exactly what happened. He tried hitting him with the Leaf Hurricane and that shit did not work. He gets blocked and GAARA tries to attack him. But Lee is quick on his feet, so he moves out the way. And I know you see him doing those backflips. He not taking that screen time for granted. He out here doing the most, trying to get more minutes, but he had no idea what Kishimoto had in store for him. So after getting blocked, Lee is just like, damn, he blocking my shit with this hand. Whoa, really? I'm thinking bro about to pull up with a whole new game plan after stating that obvious ass shit, but he doesn't. He just runs back at him with no new strategy, no changes, and gets his shit blocked. And it's crazy how we found out later that the Sant does this shit because of his mother continuing to protect bro long after she's gone. She's really looking up with a controller perfect, carrying every attack. This man Rock Lee was doomed from the start. The odds were always stacked against him. This damn near a 2v1. This is unfair. So after a couple more attempts, shit was clearly not going anywhere. Bro even tried taking out his kunai like an Apex heirloom. And he started swinging at the sand. He was out there doing anything, bro. On my first watch, this had me thinking like, damn, maybe GAARA's hating ass teammates were right. Maybe Lee wasn't all that. But then again, he's a dude with no ninjutsu going against the #1 prospect. Like, his life is already hard enough. They hoeing him. And I'm not gonna lie, you can't tell me the tuning exams were not rigged. Let's look at the top 3 prospects. GAARA, Neji, and Sasuke. They got Sasuke going against a Sound Village NPC, Neji going against Hinata, and no disrespect to Rock Lee, but on paper, Gaara going against Lee is ludicrous. Homie shouldn't have stood a chance. I know you saw that attendance. Their whole goal was to sell out the arena. This shit is fixed. That TV over there, yeah, that shit is not random. Anyways, Gaara trips Rock Lee.
It's low key like that NFL script I see going around. All right, I've looked at the NFL script. Yes, I have insider trading knowledge. Now, don't tell the government that because I'm gonna plead the fifth, okay? But I will be placing my bets in Vegas. All right, I'm putting a house on it. So if y'all see me homeless, man, the script was false.
And tries to crush him. But Lee gets out and kneels on the statue like he's some superhero. And this is where Mike Guy comes in talking about, alright bro, you could take those heavy ass weights off. Not gonna lie though, I know he's your sensei and all, but those shits would have been off. Do you see who they got me fighting? This demon ass kid who no one played catch with? I'm not taking my chances. So Gaara's hating ass teammate Tamari is sitting there talking about those weights are weak as hell and they're not about to make a difference. But Shorty ate her words because once those weights hit the floor, it had everyone shocked. But look at Gaara though. He really hit him with the
light work, no reaction.
Till bro moved. Now look at him. He like, hey yo, why he disappeared? Lee starts hitting around bro, just toying with him. And look at Gaara. The thought of him having to actually box is killing him right now.
Oh,
he knows
done.
He's about to get exposed for having no hands. The sand is barely keeping up, and that's how you know his mom is down in hell sweating right now, trying to keep up with every hit. Got her working overtime. Lee starts circling Gaara and is like, oh yeah, it's time I finally get my lick back. Starts hitting the Sonic and puts the back of his heel to the back of his head, making him look straight down. Got his ass emoting. He hitting the dab. And look at my guy back there. He hyped his shit. And I would be too, cause Lee out there cooking up in his outfit. Lee said,
I'm not finished.
Hits Gaara's stupid ass with a crossover and is like, hey, where your dumb ass looking? Gaara gets socked clean in the face. That shit had Gaara flying. He hits the ground. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit had me smiling. I want to see Lee win. But what I didn't know at the time is Gaara had that Batman level prep time, because he had a backup plan the whole time if his auto defense failed him, and it was to coat himself in sand armor. And I couldn't even be mad. That was a good play, good IQ. You still a bitch though, but hey, good IQ. The camera cuts to Gaara and we see why no one wanted to play tag with his evil ass. Look at him, he out there tweaking. And the reason this scene be living rent free in my head is because the way this man Gaara was breathing. I don't know if y'all remember, but I'm gonna play the clip right here. Like, oh nah, do you hear this, man? I am out of there as soon. Like, oh nah, do you
Nah, that's crazy.
hear this, man? I am out of there as soon as he starts doing that. You're crazy. But Lee had a plan. He was ready to end this shit in one move. Hey, real quick, thank you for 252K. He took the toilet paper off his arm and started circling him like how Pegasus be doing in Beyblade. And this man Gaara really had the audacity to talk about, bro, what are you waiting for? With his arms folded sitting in the middle. Like, bro, all you do is sit there and stand because you got auto defense. You're boring as hell. This is why I say Gaara's player comparison is Tim Duncan, because even though they're elite as hell, they got the most boring play styles of all time. If you ever have trouble sleeping, put on some Tim Duncan highlights. I promise you it works like a charm. Lee goes in, hits him with an up tilt, which kicks him up in the air. Gaara starts getting juggled up in the air like Isaac Newton didn't invent gravity, and put him up to a place where he could die from fall.
My man is giving him
he wraps the toilet paper around Gaara and tilts him down head first. Then he starts spinning and sending him to the ground. First time watching it, I thought it was over. He caught him. Look at Gaara. He looks like a broken face right now. People in the stands were celebrating too. They thought Evil has lost, but we all know what happened. Somehow Brody is Houdini, and the thing that we see on the ground is an empty shell, which means Rock Lee didn't do shit and the match is not over. I know Mike Guy mad as hell right now. Lee executed the move just like he taught him, and that shit still ain't get him. Gaara spawns right behind him and starts laughing maniacally. He sees bro with zero stamina and Brody started licking his lips. He sends sand at bro and that shit pushed him back. Then he starts laughing again and launches a whole sand tsunami at bro. Yeah, this shit was getting hard to watch, and then it happened. They started showing us flashbacks of Rock Lee in a kennel.
Bro, whenever a character get a flashback, you know they about to have the most OP power surge of all time. It's like low key pre-plot armor, okay? Whenever you see a flashback, you know plot armor is about to come into effect. Okay, every time. The script is the same.
only mean one thing. He's about to go crazy.
Come on
but
now.
before I skip the flashback cutscenes, I need to talk about the one with Neji, because this was kind of crazy. This man Neji put the heel on his shoulder and started going to work. Look at this, he hits him twice in the gut, headshots him, gut checks him again, and he ends it off with 3 more headshots. Like, he did not have to do Lee that dirty.
Folded, boy.
So after the flashbacks, they take us right back to the fight. GAARA attacks Lee and bro moved out the way fast as hell. And you know bro is confident because he has his back turned to him right now. GAARA said, man, that shit's a fluke. Tries to attack him 4 more times, but he too is Weave Nation certified. After all those misses, Rock Lee starts to charge up. And GAARA's like, I don't know what you think you're planning, but you're not a Super Saiyan, gang. It's over. And Lee hits him with the, you are right. It is over. Bro starts charging up. He opens up the 3rd gate.
This
And
low-key like the dude who's like, call the cops. Not for me though. Somebody got that meme. Somebody sent it to me.
that shit got him looking crazy. This is not someone you want to fuck with. And GAARA soon found that out. Lee opens up the 4th gate and charges right at him. He launches GAARA straight up, and GAARA's just chilling peacefully in the air. Rock Lee hits him with the jump scare and starts juggling bro around the arena. Neji is sitting there terrified as hell because he was out there greasing Lee back then. He didn't know he could do all this. And the crazy part is Lee said he was saving this for Neji. That boy Lee was out here plotting murder. If Neji fought Lee using the gates, he would have died. But hey, at least that death would be 20 times better than his original one. Bro established himself as a pencil holder before he went out. That shit crazy. Lee goes in front of GAARA, says psych, and hits him with the mean duck punch, sending him beaming down. But Lee wasn't finished. He made GAARA hit the Gwen and pulls him towards him, hitting him with a punch and a kick simultaneously, completing the hidden lotus and sending him to the ground.
GG's
But
to
this
that
is where true pain
Did Buddy even get a hit in? GAARA even get a hit in this whole time?
happens, because GAARA had the gourd which was made out of sand and it cushioned the impact, making him survive that shit. And it was GG. Look at Lee, he's on all 4s and is out of energy. GAARA's bitch ass uses the last of his Saiyan to crush Lee's arm and leg, trying to end bro's whole career. GAARA already pissed the whole block off with that shit, but homie said I got one more in me. This time, he tried to put him to sleep for good. I had to look away cause I couldn't watch him go. But thankfully, my guy comes in and saves him. Since he stepped in, it gave GAARA the automatic win, but we don't care. Because the only thing that matters is that Lee is alive.
Bro, look, GAARA usually, low-key is using the war of attrition. He got the sand, tire him out, you know, and then you can come in with the last kill at the end, okay? Now, if Rock Lee was training like Patrick Beverly with the Tims in the sand, he would have been able to get through this a little bit easier, you know what I'm saying?
Starts to walk off, and bro, this is how you know Rock Lee has that dog in him, because he gets back up bleeding in his stance, completely unconscious.
All right, listen, this one arm stands nothing compared to Teen Gohan, bro. Get him out of here.
That man is truly different. Anytime somebody talks about Rock Lee, they gonna start every sentence off with,
he was special.
Facts, bro. Listen, it's sad that Rock Lee couldn't finish off the fight victorious. You know, your sensei got to jump in, stop the fight. But he had that dog in him, though. He was ready to keep going. They throw the no, I'm not done. Now I done seen some MMA people get knocked out like that, or towels thrown in, and no, I'm gonna keep fighting. They're clearly cooked. All right. So do y'all think Rock Lee was actually cooked? It was about to be GG's for the boy, or do you think he could have, you know, got another flashback and pieced him up? Y'all let me know, man.